What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated, unified, WBC, IBF, welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, Earl the True Spence Jr. calls out 8th Division world champion, superstar, iconic, legendary boxer, and currently the WBA welterweight world champion, MANNY "PAC-MAN" PACQUIAO. He says that he now understands and he just realized that Manny Pacquiao was avoiding him, right? Was ducking him. He says, you stepped in the ring with me after the fight, but you had all intentions of facing Mikey Garcia, 4th Division Mexican superstar world champion boxer. He said you was rooting against me the entire time and you was hoping that Mikey Garcia won because that's the fight you truly want. But now since I upset the apple cart and messed up your plans, you got in the ring with me and you was hesitant. He says he got in the ring with me like I got in the ring with Sean Porter, like guys have done to other guys, you know, so on and so forth, right? He says like you got in the ring with me, right? But you didn't have the true intentions of fighting me like I got in the ring with Sean Porter, but I had true intention of facing Sean Porter. Like Danny Garcia got in the ring with me after I beat Sean Porter, but he had true intentions of facing me. Like Sean Porter got in the ring with Danny Garcia and had true intentions of facing him. You didn't have those true intentions of facing me. I just upset your plans and messed up your plans. So now you're going to fight Mikey Garcia anyway, coming off of a subpar victory over Jesse Vargas and a loss to me, right? So Errol Spence said, you ducked me. I just realized you ducked me, right? So if you don't know what Errol Spence is talking about, he's referring to the Mikey Garcia fight that Errol Spence had at Dallas Cowboys Texas Stadium in his hometown of Dallas, Texas, right? Manny "PAC-MAN" Pacquiao, it was star-studded. Manny Pacquiao was ringside, and after the fight, Manny Pacquiao got in the ring with Errol Spence. But he did so after getting directed to get in the ring with Errol Spence. He didn't voluntarily get in the ring with Errol Spence after the fight. You could tell from his body language, he was acting, confused, as if he didn't know what was going on. And he said things like, if the fight presents itself, I'll fight Errol Spence, but he wasn't convincing, right? He wasn't saying it, convincingly. He wasn't being stern. He was saying it objectively, right? It's a possibility. You understand? And now we see him going the route of more than likely facing Mikey Garcia. Like Errol Spence said, I beat Mikey Garcia. You was rooting against me. You was hoping Mikey Garcia won so they could validate you fighting Mikey Garcia, right? But at this point in time in Manny Pacquiao's career, most people are just going to give Manny Pacquiao a pass, seeing as though he's 40 years old. He's victorious against Keith Thurman, who's undefeated and unified welterweight world champion, superstar boxer. It's like the icing on the cake, right? Nobody's going to truly feel like Manny Pacquiao must go in this direction or that direction, right? Everything he's doing now is icing on the cake, as his career is already set for the future. He's already a surefire Hall of Famer. He has accomplished 8th Division world champions. He's been an 8th Division world champion. He's now the WBA world champion, defeating Keith Thurman, who is a young, hungry lion. He's still active. And, he's over 40 years old. So they're going to give him a pass. But nonetheless, Errol Spence is 1,000% correct that Manny Pacquiao did not want to fight with Errol Spence Jr. He was indeed hoping that Mikey Garcia won the fight. That's more of his style of a fight, right? That's Juan Manuel Marquez Esch. That's Eric Morales type of fights, right? That's the type of fights that you see Manny Pacquiao in more so than none, right? So with that said, he's going to face Mikey Garcia next. That's what it's looking like. The route is going to be taken. And then after that, he's going to have to face the fire and face Errol Spence. Should Errol Spence be victorious, as I expect him to, against Danny Swift Garcia, November 21st, right? Then, he's going to have to answer that Errol Spence question. He's going to have to face Errol Spence Jr., right? It's a unification bout. At that point in time, it will be for the WBC, IBF, and WBA welterweight world titles. So he's either going to, at that point in time, face Errol Spence or go the route of facing undefeated 3 Division world champion, currently the WBO welterweight world champion, Terrence Bud Crawford. And we know he's been avoiding that fight for quite some time, right? And he will have to do business with his former promoter, legendary top-ranked CEO and promoter Bob Arum, right? Bob Arum says that he was doing his due diligence trying to make a fight for Terrence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao outside the country, seeing as though we have the pandemic and sports was put on hold, and now sports has resumed. But due to social distancing, there's no live gates. There's no fans allowed at the sporting event. So, that's a big, huge fight. And that fight, like Bob Arum says, he's looking for investors to invest and have that fight outside of the United States, where they could possibly have live fans, and then be able to pay the purses that the boxer is going to be looking for, right? With a fight of that magnitude, and rightfully so. But if he doesn't go that route, he's going to have to fight Errol Spence, in which I believe that Errol Spence will be victorious in that fight. I think that it won't be that much action in the fight. I think that Errol Spence is going to slowly pick Manny Pacquiao apart. Manny Pacquiao won't have the southpaw edge because Errol Spence is a southpaw, but he's a bigger, younger, stronger version of southpaw. So I think that Errol Spence's jab, his length, his technical abilities, and his counterpunching abilities is going to give Manny Pacquiao all types of problems, as I believe that Manny Pacquiao, Freddie Roach, and Team Pacquiao believe the same thing. Thus the reason why they're not too eager and not too overly joyed to just jump in the ring with Errol Spence Jr. But Manny Pacquiao did say that's a fight he did want before it's all over, before it's all said and done for his career. So hopefully it comes to fruition. But first thing first, obviously Errol Spence has to get past Danny Swift Garcia November 21st. And Manny Pacquiao is going to have to get past Mikey Garcia, which I highly expect him to do. Mikey Garcia, no disrespect to Mikey Garcia. I like Mikey Garcia as a 4-division world champion. But Mikey Garcia has very slow feet. He is a counterpuncher with power. And he's, to me, a lesser version of Juan Manuel Marquez. And we saw that Marquez gave Manny Pacquiao tons and tons of problems. But I just think that Mikey Garcia is slightly slower than Marquez. His feet are slower than Marquez, and I think that Marquez just has a higher ring generalship than Mikey Garcia. I just think that he understands the ring a little better than Mikey Garcia does. So I think that Manny Pacquiao's speed and angles and his power is going to give Mikey Garcia problems. It's going to be a tough fight. I think it'll be an 8 rounds to 4, type of fight for Manny Pacquiao. Maybe 7 rounds to 5 for Manny Pacquiao. I won't be surprised to see Mikey Garcia hurt Manny Pacquiao a few times in the fight, but I won't be surprised to see Mikey Garcia get dropped by Manny Pacquiao. It's going to be an action fight, but I'm expecting Manny Pacquiao to be victorious and then move on to Errol Spence. As I'm expecting Errol Spence to defeat Danny Garcia by 8 rounds to 4. So I can't wait to see how it's playing out. The sport of boxing is back. But that's all I got for y'all. Errol the True Spence Jr. calls out Manny Pacquiao. Said, I just realized you've been ducking me all this time. That's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.